The military has become a serious threat to Kusag, the very people they have been sent to protect. Just yesterday, the military, while on their usual escort of Mampuses from Bolga to Bawku, blocked some adjoining roads to the main Bolgatanga-Bawku road in the Zebilla township. That is the Zebilla Hospital and Tishi roads within the Zebilla Market Center, in order to allow the escorted vehicles pass through the township. In the process, commuters who came closer to the respective junctions were severely beaten as though they were common criminals by the military personnel positioned at the said junctions. This cannot be accepted in this 21st century, where our laws respect and guarantee human dignity and respect for all persons. Ladies and gentlemen, this impunity and crass disregard for the dignity of Kusagis by the military was repeated in the Bawku municipality, precisely highways, upon reaching Bawku with the escort. Similar blockades of roads and unprovoked attacks on women and men going about their normal duties continued. This time, ladies and gentlemen, the youth, in their attempt to protect themselves from the attacks, the military opened fire, shooting sporadically, wounding several people and killing some. Friends of the media, Kusag is bleeding, pained, and deeply devastated. The military went as far as destroying the statue of Ziguran, the overlord of Kusag, which is located in the center of highways. They shot at it severally, as though the statue was a hardened criminal, and used heavy metallic tools and destroyed the statue of Ziguran. Not only was the statue shot at and pulled down by the military, but it was set ablaze by the military. What was the crime of the statue? Who was their target? Your guess is as good as mine. The people of Kusag have lost hope in the current military presence in Bawku. We think our overlord is not safe with this present military presence in Bawku. It is pretty obvious these callous military officers were after the life of our overlord, and thus cannot be the same people parading themselves as peacemakers in Bawku. As a result, ladies and gentlemen, I called on the Minister of Defense and the National Security to act as a matter of urgency and withdraw the entire military force from Bawku and replace a new set. It is our belief that the current military personnel had long been tainted and corrupted and have therefore lost the moral uprightness in providing professional security protection for the people of Kusag. This is not a plea, ladies and gentlemen, of the media, but as citizens who duly pay our taxes, we demand that the commander and his men be immediately withdrawn in our community. Yesterday's action by the military must be thoroughly investigated, and the said military officers who destroyed the statue of the overlord identified and punished for their unprofessional and barbaric act. We also demand an immediate erection of the statue of Ziguran by the military to its original form. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to highlight some of the recklessness and unprofessional conduct of some of our men and women in uniform that we pay to keep us safe, but end up as endangered species. These impunities have culminated into yesterday's callous acts of brutalities and sacrilege. Ladies and gentlemen, as you may be aware, a military barracks was established in Bazua in Binduri district under Kusag in 2010 to help bring lasting peace to Bawku and also serve as a focal point for maintaining peace and order in the entire Upper East region. The military discharged their duties creditably well until the last quarter of 2021, where there were renewed clashes, eroding the gains made over the years and plunging Bawku back to a state of insecurity up to date. Ladies and gentlemen, in escorting Mampuses to Bolga and back, The military personnel ran on high speed on the road as though the road was meant for them alone, with no regard for other road users, especially motor riders on the side of the road. This is certainly unacceptable because motorbikes form a greater percentage of transportation for the constituents of Zebilla and other districts in Kusag. It is even more worrying and disturbing for the communities along the Bawku-Bolgatanga stretch within Kusag, including Kobore, Saka, Ankpaliga, Zebilla Township, Zebilla Custom Barrier, Lamboya, Bazunde, Azubupunga, Tili under the Zebilla constituency, and Bazua under the Binduri constituency. Friends from the media, on 2nd February 2025, an armored vehicle en route from Bawku to Bolga had a very terrible accident at Saka, a suburb of Zebilla, killing 2 military men on the spot and leaving 5 severely injured. That accident followed a series of similar accidents or incidents in recent past. On 16th October 2024, a military vehicle traveling from Bawku to Bolgatanga had a serious crash due to high speed at Bazua, resulting in the death of 1 soldier. Again, it is worrying to note that 2 separate incidents involving military vehicles in Zebilla and Bazua occurred on 9th January and 11th February 2025 respectively, claiming the lives of 2 innocent motorbike riders. The cause of these accidents is the method adopted by the military during escorts. In escorting a vehicle, ladies and gentlemen, the military uses 4 armored vehicles, 1 each to the side and 1 to the front and back. By so doing, they end up occupying the entire road, leaving oncoming vehicles and other road users in a state of panic, resulting in most cases serious and minor accidents. These incidents have left my constituents, especially communities along the Bawku-Bolgatanga stretch, in a state of fear, anxiety, and panic. It is imperative to note that every life lost must be a serious concern to us as representatives of the people who elected us to represent them. I therefore humbly demand that as a representative of the people of Zebilla and as a citizen of Kusag, that the method used during escort be ceased immediately, since that endangers the lives of the people of Kusag. You cannot kill others in an attempt to safeguard the lives of others. The lives of our people matter too.